4 days a year.
What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan. Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, a show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout, as after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage, and enjoy the show.
What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. It is Thursday, February 19th. And we've got a Dynamite to break down. In the words of friend of the show, Fernando Zayas, it's time to light the fuse and ignite this Dynamite review. No doubt about it. It was a fun Dynamite last night for sure. We've got Tony Khan cooking this year. Dynamite is must watch every week from Shad Huda, friend of the show, the man, the myth, the legend. Two's up. What's going on, Shadi? For sure. We've also got DCX Warlord in the building with no wonder Prince Nana had that towel with the embassy on it a couple weeks ago. That is interesting. We've also got from Alex Duffy in the comments. Yeah, I'm with you. But we've got two sweet co-hosts hanging with me today. First and foremost, let me send this one to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That is, I think there are multiple Philadelphias. I'm not 100% sure, but he's in the famous one. How are you today, Ant?
I'm doing all right. I know there's one in Mississippi. I think there might be one other one.
Yeah, I thought it was Mississippi.
But I'm sure somebody in the comments will fill that in. No, it's always fun to come back to my old stomping grounds of Thursday, just minus the throwback this time. But it's always fun getting into these, and every time I cover Dynamite, somebody gets mad. But let's have some fun with this.
Who knows? I think today might be one of those days where maybe not that many people I don't know. Let's not put the cart before the horse. We'll find out in this next 45 minutes. But before we do, I got to send this one to Boston, to our resident Dallas Cowboys fan, Mr. Dez. How are you? Love the MJF shirt. Really festive.
It is very festive, but yeah, I'm doing good. Haven't been on the Thursday show in a minute. So last night, Dynamite was great, man. You know, for me, it's been the best show to watch every single week. But yeah, I got Clark, we got Ant, we got a hell of a cast, and I'm excited to break it down. As Fernando said, it's time to light the review. I messed it up. See, this is why Fernando does
fuse and ignite this Dynamite review. The first time he said it, you'll actually love this. Story time before we do the first topic, because it's hilarious. The first time he commented, I was like, okay, first off, that's really brilliant, Fernando, because I read it and I was like, that's awesome. Can you do me a huge favor and every Thursday comment that? Because I'm going to mess it up if I just try to remember it. And the best part about it is I didn't actually anticipate it. But he has followed through on that request. Yes. Fernando in the comment section every time without fail, and I love it. So absolutely earned.
I do have to ask, because you mentioned he was a Cowboys fan. Are we sure that's not a Cowboy shirt? Because it is mid. So I'm just at the
and from the top rope early. I guess, by the way, back to that intro, making people mad. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Sean likes it. I'm sure.
I really did want to do a convenient segue into our first segment, because as you know, Dallas is in Texas. And Hangman Page and MJF went back and forth.
Neither guy's from there.
Nope. But Texas Deathmatch is the particular style of match that Hangman enjoys, I think, the most. He went full what was that guy's name again? Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. And if I lose, I can never challenge again. I love the facial expression coming out of it. I understand this one was kind of controversial in some ways. It was sort of split on the internet. People's thoughts on the promo itself. I can't lie. The amount of hair gel that MJF had last night, just like the way that it was, threw me for a loop. He looked different than I don't know what it was. If it was just slicked back too much, bad hair day or something.
That may be a Turkish recommendation.
It could be the hair transplant related, but I genuinely was sort of in the first few minutes of the interview, couldn't get into it. I'm like, what is going on with Max's hair right now? There's something is up here. I was waiting for it to start dripping
Starts ripping on him. Yeah.
At some point, I don't know.
Little Rudy, you were expecting?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think weirdly though, MJF and Hangman have such good chemistry on the mic in general over the years that we expect so much that's where some of the criticism came from. That's just my personal opinion. I actually did enjoy it. I think it landed the way it was supposed to. But Ant, I want to get your thoughts, and then Des, you as well, and we'll all three break it down.
I don't know if there's anybody better on the mic as a heel than MJF. And they delivered a solid promo. My only concerns with Hangman is I feel like we're on repeat because it's the same problem Hangman has that Cody had in WWE. It's compelling, as a babyface, beating the bad guy, beating the heel, and taking the title. We've seen this happen twice in both companies already. That they've won the title, and then everyone goes, well, now what? And the title reigns suck, just plain and simple. The chase is always interesting. It's the winning is the problem. The Texas Death Match, twice in the same year. Is it a requirement that the only time Hangman challenges for the world title, it has to be a Texas Death Match? Why is it that Tony Khan gets in this trope where he really likes this one stipulation and he beats it into the ground? A couple years ago, it was you got to beat these people to challenge MJF or to challenge whoever. Then it was the championship or title eliminators. And now it's I'm going to beat Texas Death Match into the ground. Like, stop. It doesn't, not everything has to be Texas Death Match. I don't know what you do with this. Because if you have Hangman lose, which is the same thing you did with Cody, are you really not going to let him challenge for the world title ever again? Or, are you going to do a double turn? Which would be a colossal mistake because, and I said this the last time they did this, and Kobe and everyone else argued with me, MJF's getting cheered. They should make him a face. I went, he is a natural heel. Let them cheer if they want. But he's better as a heel. He's not a face. Like, he's not. He's just a heel.
Yeah. And I hear where you're coming from on that aspect. I think there's a few routes you can go with this match. When it comes to the Texas Death thing, I think that there were too many before it became Hangman's match. I like the idea of it being Hangman's signature match. I like it being tied to him, like it sort of a la Dusty in the bull rope. To your point, he's not from Texas, but I maybe that of all of the things you said, I pretty much agreed with everything. Yeah. The only one only caveat being, I'm like, because we had this coming here from Chris LeClaire. Mm-hmm. Hangman's 4-1 in Texas Death Matches. I sort of like that. Feels like a home field advantage to him. He throws that out as the stipulation. If you're going to ask, so your point out about Tony Khan favoring the Texas Death Match, I want to be clear. I do not disagree on that part, right?
Yes.
But the idea of Hangman's character favoring the Texas Death Match, I'm in. I like that one.
Okay.
Personally.
To me, it would have made more sense if Hangman would have I want a Texas Death Match, and MJF goes, no. And then Hangman offers his career. Not the career first, then the death match. That really, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, why?
I think.
But where's your
message? Like, that was what was interesting, and I think this is where some of the controversy came in too, because I hear where you're coming from there. In the order of events was odd, but I think the whole point was because he had that look on the way back up the ramp. Like, what did I just do? The idea of lobbing Texas Death Match in there on top of it was trying to save face for like, I can't believe I just put my entire rest of my career challenging for the world title that I covet so much on the line. It's got to be Texas Death. That's the only way. I think the point was Hangman got, I think Hangman's role in it and the intention was for him to look like, oh, what did I just spat my mouth off at MJF because he got under my skin a little bit and I said too much. And so the throwing Texas Death in there was like, I can't believe I just did this. Now let's go all the way. And then he has that look on his face of like, oh, what did I just do? Right? Like, was it all worth it yet? And part of me enjoyed that, but I can also see where it got lost in the sauce along the way because of the order in which it was delivered. And that's something that's interesting to me. I DCX Warlord mentioning the funny thing is that Revolution isn't even in Texas. If anything, it's the Hollywood death match. Yeah, we had a Hollywood backlot brawl at WrestleMania 12 and a Hollywood ending last year at
The
Revolution.
ending would have made more sense in this.
Yeah, there you go. Well, who knows? It should have been a dog collar match from Sei. I find that one interesting. DCX Warlord did mention that Texas Death hasn't happened this year yet. It is still a young year, though. So,
it's within the same year.
Yeah,
all in is less than a year ago.
Calendar year versus year, we can nitpick all day long. But Des, I do want to also ask you your thoughts on this back and forth, because MJF had some zingers that he lobbed Hangman's way, and you could tell as the promo segment went on. I actually think it intensified as it should. But there was something just a bit off, I felt like, not besides just the haircut part with MJF. I and you're wearing the Max shirt, and I don't blame you, but I just thought he was not on his A game. It felt like he sort of played the hits as best he could, right? And just tried to go as low as he could. Did you feel that way at all?
Not exactly. Like, I felt like the promo exchange was overall pretty good. I feel like it was pretty fair, where Hangman, he's the main character. MJF is jealous that Hangman's the main character. A lot of people say he's the main character, and I agree. Hangman Adam Page, he personifies everything that AEW is. Whatever AEW has been, he exactly is that. And MJF hates him for it because MJF is a champion, right? MJF, his entire career, has always had an issue where abandonment, where he always wants to be the top guy and always wants people to respect him. And now they're putting all that praise towards Hangman. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was reading between the lines, because when I was looking Hangman Page does to Cody, I was really confused. And I don't know if this is intentional or not, but this might be towards 2019 when Cody Rhodes faced Chris Jericho, lost the opportunity where he did not challenge for the AEW championship. I don't know if it's the very similar type thing. And ironic enough, MJF was also involved in that match. So I'm curious to know if that's going to play into effect for the match at Revolution, whether someone from Hangman's past comes back and betrays him. And another thing too that Ant was mentioning, I agree. I think the Texas Deathmatch stipulation is overdone. But then, Clark, you mentioned hometown advantage. In my head, it's now that's interesting, because like you said, Hangman Adam Page, it's 4-1 Texas Deathmatches, right? That's his thing, right? He's only lost one of them to Swerve. And the match is in New York, and that's MJF's hometown. So I just thought it was really interesting, where it's two guys that are known for two specific things. MJF being in New York.
Guys, it's in LA. It's in LA. It's in LA.
Double or nothing is in LA.
You're right. You're right.
Double or nothing is New York. This is in LA. I didn't want to, because I liked where you were going, but I'm
you're right.
No, it is in LA.
You're right. No, you're right. You're right. Okay, never mind. That my whole point basically was.
Even then, Max with the Burberry that fits the LA aesthetic better than Hangman does. So I think you actually kind of still have a point there. And then not only that, this is where it's really interesting, Des. This is where I'm like, So you have the Cody aspect. You have Gunther over on the WWE side killing careers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If MJF is the guy who just curses people to not being able to challenge for the world title for eternity, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek shot over at the other side. I think that's kind of funny. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but and it's probably not going to happen. So I'm just sort of riffing here, but it would be funny if
it would also
he starts playing the I'm the real career killer. I don't even have to wait till retirement.
But that also creates a problem for you if he's taking out main event talent that can never challenge for your world title. It's not as long as I hold the title. It's ever.
I think here's what's interesting is I actually, in my hope is that they swerve us, and I'm not talking about Strickland.
Yeah.
And Max wins this.
My honest guess, Clark, in all seriousness, I think he holds it till All In, and Ospreay's going to take it from him. I'm assuming they're gearing for Ospreay is what they're doing.
I agree.
I agree. But here's the thing. What we didn't get with Cody was the eventual, I think that storyline was eventually going to be paid off with a match to reverse that.
That or that my contract ended, so I signed a new contract, so now no longer applies, or some other loophole.
There would be.
He'd go
like
heel
to see
doing it.
Or earned in the ring would be cool.
Yeah.
If you were going to babyface it, is all I'm saying, right?
I think
both routes I think are acceptable.
I think what happened here is, and I know they've built Max and Hangman, but they don't really necessarily have a real long series of feuds. It's matches here and there. to me, to put a career on the line, put a death match, the feud should dictate it, and I feel like you jump straight to like a feud ender for the first match, like of this title reign. You know what I mean? For MJF, I know they've done it here and there, but this is the first of MJF's title reign, and you're just going straight to my career's on the line. Like
100%.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
It's an odd one, and that's where, like, yeah, Des, what are your thoughts on what does it look like? Is there a route back for Hangman if he does lose this match to challenge for the title? Maybe not this year, but in the coming years in AEW.
I mean, I think so, because I don't think Hangman's leaving AEW anytime soon. I'm just interested to know what's going to happen, because would they pivot? Well, not really pivot, but would they give the championship to Hangman? I don't necessarily think so, because I'm on board with exactly what Ant said. I feel like they're going to wait till Will Ospreay comes back, and who knows, maybe he's even shows up at Revolution. So I honestly don't know.
I like the Ospreay call. That does seem borderline written in stone.
Yeah.
And AEW's handled the home field advantage, hometown advantage thing significantly different than we're used to as far as WWE was concerned, right? You used to just lose in your hometown unless your name
was the opposite, yes.
Unless your name was Sam Punk. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, I guess John Cena. Well, I mean, they still had Edge beat him in Boston.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Punk has lost in Chicago.
And didn't Randy Orton punt Cena's dad in Boston once?
Yeah, he assaulted him in his house, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah.
No, Edge went to his house.
Edge, I knew somebody did. Yeah.
Edge went to his house.
Yes.
I think Orton pulled him out of the front row and punted him.
Yes.
Is what it was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about the TBS title, because this show last night was on TBS, and Willow Nightingale, one of my absolute favorites, retains. One of the most positive people in all of wrestling. She basically faced an all-star she was in an all-star fatal four-way here. I mean, Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne, and Mina Shirakawa are all legitimate contenders for this title. She encourages Mina after the match. I like that. The backstage segment I thought was fun. Willow's work rate is off the charts these days. Working the tag team, the TBS title, and it's weird. I feel like she hasn't gotten her flowers the way she deserves, because she's really not missed. And she looked great once again last night in everything she was a part of, whether it was the early segment before the match itself, or the segment after. I mean, to have as much basically that she's carrying on her shoulders as she does, I'm blown away by it. Obviously, there's a difference between a Willow Nightingale title reign and a Mercedes Moné title reign, but I've really, really actually enjoyed Willow's work since she's earned the title. And that's where, Des, I want to ask you about it. Really fun match, small package victory. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a good match. I'm not going to lie, for a split second, I actually thought Willow was going to lose. But yeah, Clark, you said everything that I've been saying, man. This is the year for Willow, and it has to be, because in my opinion, you can have the Mercedes Moné, you can have the Tony Storms. They're stars. There's no denying it. But I feel like if we're looking towards the future of the AEW women's division, we're looking at Willow Nightingale, and you're seeing it. She's pulling double duty. She's doing great in a tag division. She's doing great with a TBS championship. I am interested to see who is going to step up. Like you mentioned, she was talking to Mina Shirakawa, so maybe there's a story going on there. But yeah, I mean, Willow, she's a superstar, man, and she keeps proving it every single week.
Sorry, mute curse. No, okay. Mute button curse. That's my fault. No, I'm back. Fine. Woof. I literally was talking maybe for 30 seconds. That's on dead air there, guys. I apologize. That is a whiff. But yeah, no, you broke that down perfectly. And Willow is that good. To me, it dates back to when she was teaming with Ruby Soho in the Dudley's inspired gear. And speaking of Los Angeles, that was at the Forum. She hits that power bomb off the side of the stage. I was like, I'm completely sold. It was just incredible to me, the work that she's done since. So inspiring. And not only that, and you were there. How great was she to us at the Palms? I mean, is there a nicer professional wrestler in the business?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talked about this on one of the post shows right after. I think it was me, you, and Archie covering it. Yeah, Willow was easily one of the nicest people. We randomly ran into her in the Palms. And you know, as nice as can be, we asked to take a photo with her. She looked around a little bit because obviously it wasn't a meet and greet. She went, yeah, sure, and took the photos with her. It was awesome. I remember covering Willow when she first won this title the first time around. And I remember it was a throwback. And I remember saying on air that they're going to make her lose this to Mercedes, and it's an absolute mistake. And I still stand by that. Mercedes didn't need it. Mercedes didn't need 12 belts. Didn't do nothing for her. I know people get mad about that, but it's the truth. Nothing really what really came of that? When she was standing across Tony Storm, who had one title, Tony looked like the bigger star versus somebody with a dozen belts. Willow really needed this. Willow needs a solid reign with the TBS title. The crowd's behind her. She is that forever babyface. Like I said, Max is a perfect heel. Willow is a perfect babyface. Willow could be AEW's women's version of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the forever babyface that the crowd always loves. And I think you could do a lot with her. And she's very marketable. Like it's I don't know why it took them this long to realize that.
I am in complete agreement, man. And to your point, it's just like it's one thing to have that likability on screen, and it was recognizable from the beginning of her run. It was like, oh, I want to root for her. Like, just smile alone. You're just like, it's genuine. Like, genuine is the word that I would use to describe Willow more than anything else.
It's not an
my
act.
favorite was even like at the Palms, like you mentioned. The way when we walked up, I just said, am I the worst person in the world if I asked to take a selfie or whatever? And before she even answered, she said, you're not the worst person in the world. And I'm like, that's just like super thoughtful.
Yes.
Like that's just nice. Like you can't even ask for anything better than that. This is interesting from earlier. But go ahead. Sorry.
If I remember correctly, I think she asked us if we were okay with the pictures. If I'm not
she
mistaken,
was like, do they look okay? We're like, they're perfect. Like, and she took the time to take pictures with all of us. It was awesome. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure she was like leaving the gym. She was in a tracksuit, right? Like
she was, I believe she was crossing. I think she was with Queen Aminata. I think I'm not 100% sure. I think we saw Queen afterwards. I'm assuming she was probably going to one of the collective shows to see some friends,
right?
Because RH, wasn't really running, so I think she was there just visiting friends and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. We've also got Crystal Clear. Sky Blue's 11-0 in Chicago. That's actually wild. I did not know that.
Yeah. Wow.
And then that is a nuts one. Okay, this is hilarious because we're gonna get to our next segment. So I am gonna read that one, I promise. But say with an interesting comment here, Willow's a good champion, but when do those titles have to go? Having the tag team titles is making her TBS run non-existent. I disagree.
Here's the thing. AEW has a lot of talent and a lot of titles. WWE has the same problem. You have a limited number of space to showcase them. Yes. Now, their focus is to try to make the tag titles relevant, which has always been a problem in WWE, and AEW is trying to establish theirs from the get-go. So if they step off the gas a little bit for the TBS to try to do the tag, things will work itself out. 100%. You're never going to get 100%, success with use of titles.
I will say this though to DCX Warlord here. He said this was probably at WrestleCon. It actually was not. It was at the Collective at the Palms because they didn't run WrestleCon last year in Vegas.
Yeah,
they are this year, but they did not run WrestleCon last year. There was only
I think they did.
Mania stuff.
I feel like they did.
They didn't run it over the weekend. It ended before the Collective.
Okay, gotcha.
So it ended. We got in Thursday night.
Yeah,
and it was over by the WrestleCon was over by the time we got there.
Yeah,
this year they're running it through the weekend.
Yeah,
so you can go like the whole time.
Yeah.
And they booked a bigger convention center. I mean, there's like 9 of them in Vegas. We broke that down last year, and as you remember, like, why couldn't it be at the one attached to our hotel? It's on the north.
You said that the entire time.
It made me so mad. I'm like, why didn't they run it here? Okay. Either way, though, if you know me, you know I am the leader of the Hookamaniacs. The biggest Hook fan there is, and the Hookster is the new leader of the Ops, and I absolutely love it. You couldn't ask for a better leader than the Hookster. He is ready to roll. He's going to eat his chips. He's saying his prayers, suplexes, and chokes. Yes. In the words of the great Brian Danielson, the Hookster is finally in a leadership position, one that he deserves to be. We got a comment that I want to read here because it is quite interesting from DCX Warlord. And he said, Wait, where did the comment go? Imagine Hook
There you go.
recruits Clark, not you, Clark Taylor. Me. Well, I mean, if he recruits me, he knows I'm in. I don't even think he needs to recruit me. I'm the leader of the Hookamaniacs. But Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd, the ops. I almost said Gable Stevenson. Woof.
Yeah, that worked out well too.
That was awesome. Gabe Kidd. Well, maybe he gets Gable Stevenson too. No, okay.
There you go.
I love it. I mean, listen, I want Hook to really have his opportunity. I think he needs some seasoning, some aging. I think he's going to grow more into his body and be bigger. We debuted him pretty young. He looks almost like when he first debuted. I think Nick Wayne ran into this problem a little bit where he looks so young. It's hard to really take him seriously in comparison to some other up and comers, no matter how talented bell to bell. Right. And I think that's, if I'm speaking completely honestly, that's been sort of an issue for Hook, right? When he hits his 24, 25-year-old grown man body phase, his moveset is going to land in a way that's really a lot more effective, I think, to the audience. And I love him having this opportunity, but do you agree with what I kind of said there? I think that's the only thing that's really held Hook back, because he's clearly had all the training in the world, and he's pretty darn good bell to bell when you give him a chance.
Yeah. Unlike Clark, I'm not necessarily a Hookaholic. But I think what has really held Hook back, there's a couple things. One is the mic work. And obviously if he's being input in this position of leader of the ops, he's going to have to do a lot more mic work. So I think that's one. The other one is, and Nick Wayne has this problem, and I know this angers a lot of people, but it's the truth. Zack Sabre has this problem. They're real thin. And that's not a knock on their appearance, but it is in the sense of credibility. I think, unlike Nick Wayne and unlike Zack Sabre, I think Hook is more credible because Hook has the holds, like you said, the chokes. He's Taz's son. So he has that move set, and it's more credible and more believable than the other two. I'm not doing this to take shots at them, but I think he's more credible. But putting him in the ring with somebody like, and I know they're not in AEW, but in general, Jacob Fatu's credible because he's believable. If you dropped him in the middle of a bar, people believe he could fight his way out. You drop Obafemi in the bar, you believe he could fight his way out. Taz, back in the day, the grumpy, stocky, Taz was believable. He had that appearance where, he's smaller, but it was believed he was a tough guy. Hook didn't inherit the stockiness, but that can come in time. I think what he'd really benefit from, honestly, is because AEW is big with creating belts. I think he's better in more of a light heavyweight type atmosphere, because if you put him in the ring with a Wardlow or some other really big guy in AEW, it hurts credibility wise. Now, he did good with Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe can make anybody look 100 times better than what they are. I think Hook is very young in the process. Now, the problem is the way the business is it moves quick. There's always somebody looking to take your spot. So you have to take advantage of every opportunity and succeed at it. So it's a lot of pressure in that spot.
Yeah.
So where him doing the ops, hopefully things pan out for him. He definitely appeared in the vignette. Now, granted, I don't think that was live. It was probably taped. He did appear more confident, which has always been a problem live with him on the mic, where I don't necessarily believe, as an audience member, that you believe what you're saying. And from the audience perspective, they need to believe that your character actually believes it and you're not just reading lines.
True.
That's how you really truly succeed in this business.
This is really interesting when it comes to the Hook body type stuff. So he's got an interesting point here. He said, remember Adam Cole looked smaller than Hook at one point. Yes, that's true.
And that was a problem.
Here's one thing that I will add.
Mm-hmm.
For Hook, guy grew up playing lacrosse, right? Mm-hmm. So body type wise, he looks like a lacrosse player, and he's likely intimidating on the lacrosse field if you're running at full speed with a stick in a physical sport, right? he's not like a small dude. That's not.
No. And I'm not saying he is.
He's got like the sinewy, lean muscle build.
Yeah.
Generally, under 25 years old, you're going to have a testosterone boost in your mid 20s, and you're going to pack on some pounds and muscle. I do think he'll fill out and look closer to. He's taller than his father. He's got longer arms than his father.
Yes, he is.
I do think he will fill out in his later 20s. I mean, you look at Drew McIntyre's build when he debuted.
Oh yeah,
way back in the day.
Yes.
And the way he filled out, it completely changed. Yes, part of that is being in the gym, but also part of that is having the opportunity to be in the gym during that phase of your life. So I give him the benefit on the doubt on we might have a yoked up Hook in 5 years. The dude could look like an absolute like horse in 5 years.
You get what I'm saying though with Hook,
100,000%.
Zack Sabre.
One thing
it's the credibility.
That's what I would add. Sabre does a decent job of it. Nick Wayne hasn't really attempted it. Hook though is a legit judoka.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not sure he's quite a black belt yet, but he's right there and he's competed, and he utilizes that in his moveset. Leaning into that to legitimize him before he bulks up, it might not be the worst idea. That's the only, when you're talking about Ant, that was the only solution that sort of crossed my mind where I was like, why aren't they doing that? Because when he does a hip toss like that, it's like, oh, you forget he's a Jew. Like, let's, the way we present even like a Marina Shafir being that type of, I just see a little bit of that. Des, do you see that as sort of a possibility?
Yeah, I think so too. Like, Hook is a smaller guy, but the guy has a history with like MMA. Like, he could really mess people up, and he doesn't. He looks like you say he's credible, where he is a bit smaller, he's a bit thinner. But like you mentioned, in 5 years, this guy could come out looking like a beast. When Taz came in, the guy looked like a killer. He didn't feel like a killer, but he looked like a killer. And I think Hook can fit in that same spot.
I mean, and the other thing is, we can't forget though, Taz is as stocky and as intimidating as he was. Hook's 4 inches taller.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so the filling out part, it would logically, if you take 4 inches off Hook, he'd be stockier. Right.
Yeah.
The thing is, Hook has a credibility, not only from the lineage, but like believability. If you dropped Hook in a bar, I'm not saying he would fare the same way of a Jacob Fatu, but I think he can handle his own. I don't believe that with a Zack Sabre or a Nick Wayne. And I'm not, again, not trying to take a shot, but like realistically, if you put him in that spot, which one do I think has a better chance of fighting his way out? It's Hook.
Probably Hook. Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely.
Okay, one more comment, then we really have to go to the main event. But there needs to be some women in the ops. I'm talking someone like Nyla Rose, Rachel Erling, or Persephone, etc. I would be all over that. Yes. Legitimize the ops with I'd be either of any of the 3 names and on that list, DCX. I'm all for that. I think that's sort of a no-brainer in my eyes, because you want to separate this version of the ops with Hook as the leader from the previous versions, and that's one way to do it. And I think that is brilliant. Speaking of brilliance, our own David Sheldon rated this puppy a 5-star classic last night. Swerve Strickland defeats Kenny Omega via big pressure. This was one heck of a match. Obviously, they were mentioned earlier in the MJF Hangman exchange on the night. Wild. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It felt like a match that deserved to be billed as the main event the way it was. There's no doubt about that. But Ant, I want to get your thoughts. Did you feel like it was a 5-star match? Did you like the ending? Do you feel like this is going to hurt Kenny Omega taking this loss? Because he's expressed his desire to chase MJF too. There's a lot of rabbits in this hat here. And I don't know what the order is going to look like, but earlier in the show, we mentioned that Zilla Fatu is taking on MJF coming up. Well, if they book the Revolution main event as Hangman and MJF, I'm relatively confident we're not going to get Zilla Fatu versus Hangman in a Texas Death match.
I mean, Clark, in theory, that is they're out for I'm putting my career on the line. I put it on the line for MJF, not Zilla. That is an out if they really wanted to go that route. No, this is one of those things where I thought it was a very good match. Did I think it was 5-star? For me personally, no. That's just me. I'm sure people will get mad, but honestly, I didn't view that as a 5-star match. I thought it was very good, deserving of the main event, one of the solid matches, one of the best matches of the month. Yes. Not a 5-star for me personally. I think it won't hurt Kenny. I think Kenny's kind of reached this plateau with the fans in that he could eat losses and it means nothing, just like Randy Orton. It's not going to hurt anything. And I think the smart fan knows we are getting bonus Kenny at this point because Kenny almost lost his life. So any match we're getting of Kenny of any capacity, it's bonus. It's bonus matches at this point. The one negative that I would say is they did the one spot with Aubrey, taking the hit and Swerve's like pointing at his arm. And at no point after the Aubrey bump did he sell the arm at all, which is fine if you're going heel because it seemed like that's how they ended it. However, the announcers never once went, "Oh, he was faking the arm," because when it happened, he's like, "Oh no, that must have been an accident. He couldn't have thrown Aubrey in the way." And then after he did the beatdown of Kenny afterwards, not once did the announcers go, "He's been lying the whole time." Like nothing. Like I thought that hurt the moment because at no point did he sell it. In fact, when he got his arm raised, it was the same arm. He sold nothing. The announcers sold nothing. And the fact that, oh wait, he's been playing the whole time. Like nothing. That annoyed me because what is the point of doing that spot if you're not going to sell it as an announcer?
That is such a good point. And here's the problem for me now is with the Swerve beatdown of Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you do. Does that mean Kenny needs time off?
That'd be my guess.
And that's my biggest fear. So I have to ask you, Des, where do we go from here with both Swerve and Kenny? Because the other thing is this: whose house? Swerve's house? Whose house? Rams' house. That's an LA Rams thing. And if you were at Revolution last year, which I was, whose house? Swerve's house chants were the whole show. It was like when CM Punk was gone and you just chanted his name like during points where it didn't make sense, right? Like he was the most over guy. I'm wondering what it means for him in LA at Revolution. Yes, he's from Seattle, but that's still the West Coast. And he's over because he's using basically a modified version of the LA Rams chant. I don't know. What do you think it means for that? And what do you think? Do you agree with the 5-star rating?
Not gonna lie, that's a great question because I was honestly thinking the same thing when I saw it. I don't know what's next for it. Was it the right call? Yes, it was, because since Samoa Joe's out with injury, we know MJF is he's a big top heel, but now you got a division that's going to have Fletcher, it's going to have Ospreay, it's going to have Hangman, it's going to have probably Andrade in there as well. So you need a really good heel alongside MJF, and Swerve Strickland really fits the bill. I think Swerve already did everything he needed to do as a babyface anyway, and also Kenny is in the mix, but now he's getting a bit older. I also don't agree that I think it's a 5-star classic. I understand why people do think so because it's a fantastic match. We are so blessed as wrestling fans to be getting Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland, a match that could literally main event any AEW pay-per-view. It could be the pay-per-view main event of All In for all we know, and we got it for free. And it was such a fantastic match. And I think that's really interesting that Anthony brought up the fact that they didn't sell the arm. I thought that was also really interesting because I feel like that also would have added more to it. The Aubrey bump I thought was really interesting too. That was a point where I'm like, okay, Swerve definitely did that on purpose because it looked like he grabbed her shirt and pulled her in. Also the counter when Swerve hits the house call when Kenny's going for the V-trigger, that thing was really clean, I gotta say. But I honestly don't know, but since the Bucks came out, I think the Bucks are going to come out, so maybe there's something going on there, but then the Bucks got FTR. I don't know, but I'm interested. I kind of hope it's not Hangman Swerve, though. Like, they have fantastic matches, and it's a great feud. It's just, how many more times can we do it where it's kind of like the same and a different dynamic? You know what I mean?
I hear you 1,000%. Obviously, we've got Hangman MJF already booked. This is something I find interesting because I want to throw one more thing out here before we end this show. We see Swerve with the aggressiveness and how intense it was.
Yeah.
And yes, we know MJF's a heel.
Correct.
But if we wanted to get out of this whole career thing, what if he does the same thing to Hangman next week and replaces him?
Nah.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but what if he did? I just am like, you know what I mean? The fact that they mentioned his name in the exchange, you would not see this in WWE. It would be some, I would call it unfamiliar territory as far as a booking decision is concerned. But if I could see anybody pulling it off, whether it's this Saturday in Oceanside, because we're in California once again, which is an interesting thing to note. That's in 2 days from now, right? I'm going to that show. Hopefully, we'll see. Actually, it's kind of up in the air, to be honest. We got a bunch of stuff going on, but the goal is to be at that show. And then, then you have about a month till you're back in California, right? For Revolution, and or a little less than a month, obviously. I mean, I don't know.
They're there for the Dynamite before, I think, Iron San Jose, I believe.
Yeah, but that's 8 hours.
But it's California, regardless. That's my point.
Yeah,
it's the same length of time, but yeah, a couple days.
Right.
Yeah, they should really split SoCal and NorCal into different states. But
I do want to add one more thing, though. DCX Warlord hit it on the head, which is noticed when Swerve was attacking Kenny.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan tried the reason with Swerve, so maybe that's someone that could play into it as well. That could probably get a guy like Ospreay back, because Ospreay and Swerve also have a history together. So I thought that was interesting
at play here. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm still confident that they're going to run MJF, Hangman as the main event of Revolution.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
But the thought did cross my mind: does Swerve insert himself into this equation?
I mean, that's the problem. If Swerve costs Hangman, then are you then going to go side route, because then Hangman can't challenge for the title, so now he's feuding with Swerve again?
Or does Swerve try to cost Hangman and it ends up a triple threat where Hangman limps out there and still gets it done? Because who's Swerve facing?
You're really stretching this argument.
It's only 3 weeks. It's only 3 weeks.
It is. Swerve is taking so many things from Hangman, though, at this point. I feel, and he really helped them,
but Hangman took his child at home.
He did, but I don't know.
They got over that real quick, didn't they? It was just a backstage segment going, you burned down my child at home. It's falling.
Swerve's holding
it. I'm sure he got the insurance check.
Yeah.
I doubt it got insured that quickly.
I'm sure he got the insurance check by now.
I don't think is arson covered? I don't believe arson's covered.
I don't think so. I don't think it's on
that home insurance, you'd be covered for arson. If someone burns your house down, your insurance would cover that.
Yeah.
And then you'd also likely win the lawsuit outside of that.
True, but it's AEW.
If this was UFC fighters that did it, there
would also be criminal charges, which none of that happened either.
Oh yeah, no prison.
That's
time
true
for sure.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, it was an unincorporated town. They don't have police. I'm kidding.
You are stretching this.
He is stretching. He's reaching.
It was a joke. I'm sorry, guys, but that does bring us to the end of the show. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. As always. We will talk to you soon. It really didn't face arson. Randy didn't.
That's true. Randy didn't face arson charges.
No, I think that that's a legal loophole. Actually, is if it's involved in a professional wrestling storyline.
Arson
doesn't count.
Yeah.
That's a federal law. Actually, look it up.
Burying people alive. None of that stuff is.
Just look at All Out 2024, and that's all you need to know about criminal charges.
As long as you're in the pro wrestling business, you can commit as much arson as you'd like.
That's why they get in the business.
That's why you get into the business in the first place.
Yeah,
100%.
It ain't for the health insurance.
Why do you think Cody Rhodes has so much pyro? He's been trying to burn the house down the whole time. Seth Rollins alludes to it too. Burn it down. Come on, guys. It's all over this industry.
I know.
They're all arsonists.
How many people did Kane set on fire?
All of them. Literally, like he was making it fire out of the ring posts.
He was
shooting lightning.
He was.
Where else can you
take a shot lightning? Yeah.
Absolutely wild stuff. All right. Well, with that is going to bring us actually to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Of course, that is noon Pacific, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, 8 o'clock in the UK, and 9 a.m. for my good friends in Hawaii. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Enjoy all of the wrestling the rest of this week, and we will talk to you soon. Whatever.